Now that I have my message, what I want to do is actually send it and make it as personal as possible. The more personal I can make the message, the more likely I am to stand out from all of the other messages they receive. So what I've done, first of all, to make this possible, to go faster, Fiverr has what's called a quick response. So what I've done, I added my Udemy course info here into a quick response so that then I can use that quick response to make this faster. So all I have to do is use a quick response, and I've inserted that in there. Then once I've got the quick response ready, now I need to make this message personal. And thankfully, I've already ordered so many gigs on Fiverr. I've actually bought a gig from this first guy. I didn't remember based on his name. He must have changed it, or I just ordered so many. But I have an actual purchase. So I went and reviewed the purchase and looked back at our previous work, and I've discovered something very helpful reading his reviews. While his seller name is Generate Cash Biz, his actual name appears to be Bob. So instead of saying his username, I say, "Hi, Bob." Now, that might sound like a small difference. That's a gigantic difference when someone messages me. That's like saying "Hi, Jerry" versus "Hi, JerryBanfield.com" or "Hi, Bandwork." Huge difference. So I say, "Hi, Bob. Thank you for your work on Fiverr." And since I ordered a gig from him, I can strip this off here and I can say, "Thank you for your work with making the video for me previously on Fiverr." And then I've got that context there. So what I've done now, I've edited it specifically to say, "Hi, Bob, thank you for making a video for my business in 2014. And now I've established, first of all, that I know his real name. I'm not just a random, so to speak. And second of all, that he's already worked with me before. A lot different than just someone you've never seen before. Now I get into the pitch about how would you feel about the rest of it. So now I've got my message here from the very beginning stands out. And so I've got all of this ready to go. I don't see any reason to change anything else on here. And then what I do, I look, make sure it's in the right format. And now I hit send on here. So now I've got the message sent right here. And what I can do is sit back and wait now for Bob's response to what I've sent, and then continue. So I close this out. This is next. So I go back in here and I'll zoom in. I hit that contact button. I've not ordered a gig from this guy before. So this is a pretty much straightforward Fiverr intro paste. But now what I can do again, I can go look for a real name on the gig because that gives me great. So I just scan down through here. Chris, there we go, Chris. Perfect. 2 people have said Chris, so they've worked with him enough to figure out there's a third one, Chris, right here. So these reviews section, and I got to this, I just right-clicked over here, new tab, and then this opens up here. I've got the reviews page. I have 3 people saying his name's Chris, so I'm going to trust, well, is that a fourth? There's a fourth one down here, Chris. So I'm going to guess 4 people in the recent reviews, probably his name is Chris. So I'm going to start off with "Hi, Chris" on here instead of "Hi, CRS Lator," or whatever that looks like. Again, huge difference in sending this message. And now I can pretty much verbatim use this message this time because I have no previous order. So I've got my little quick message modified so it says, "Thank you for your work on Fiverr," which I noticed while I was looking at video production gigs offered by a top seller. And then same thing, I have everything else here needed. So then what I can do, I go through here and hit send. And I try and stick to this one window at a time so I don't get too confused and mess everything up. I've got the same thing here, so I close this one. Now I've got the same opportunity on this profile. And I do the same thing. I hit the contact button down here. And now this guy has Tim. It looks like his name's Tim. So I'm thinking that's a bit safer there. I can still scroll down in his reviews. It looks like Tim is his name. And based on his seller name, that looks like it should be pretty simple. So now I notice I've got something a little messed up Here's, so you notice, thank you for your work on Fiverr, which I noticed while I was looking at video production gigs offered by a top seller. I realized I've missed one word in here. So what I can do is add a new quick response. I can copy, I paste, I hit Command C, or you can use Control on Windows, paste it in here, and then I say Udemy Fiverr Course 2 in here. So that way I've got this saved in here. So now I've got the correct one here, and then I can just delete that one that doesn't have it written exactly right. So now I've got that in here. I go back up, I put hi Tim in here. Thank you for work on Fiverr. No previous order with Tim. Scroll down, send that message too. So this is, I'm not going to do this with all 20 of them right here for you. So I've got everything set up and sent here now, so that then I've got a process I can use, and I've ordered from this guy before, so I'll need to, I made 2 gig orders from him. So now it's just a matter, I insert this over and over, I send this to the rest of the 20 sellers that I've selected, and then I go into my messages and look and see what they say in response and go forward from there. So my next step now, this is the end of my filming today, as I show you how I've got all this set up. The next step is to wait, see what responses I get, and then I'll show you how I handle the responses I get, take the next step buying gigs, and all the way to the point where I get these videos actually in the course, so you can see that this is a start to finish process that I've made on faith from the beginning, so that you can go do the same thing in whatever it is you have to do today. Thank you for watching with me.